Hey guys, this is Paige from Cars, and in today's episode we're going to talk about the 2025 Lucid Gravity SUV. So this triple threat to Tesla, Rivian and other EV manufacturers is the second product from Lucid company that we are assessing. However, this is just a first look. So love it or hate it, the 2025 Lucid Gravity has arrived. The SUV from Lucid looks to elevate our standards the same way the Air sedan. The Gravity isn't just an Air SUV, the sedan with the wagony body and lifted suspension. No, the new Gravity is an evolution from the Air, and it makes us feel a lot. So we have lots of feelings about this one, and let's go and see what's up with it. One of the things that we wish was different with Lucid Air was the headroom for rear and front passengers alike. So everyone were at risk of knocking their head on the way into an Air. So it's only natural to feel that the Air's driving position is a bit claustrophobic too, pun intended. This thoroughly modern SUV is tall enough for smoother ingress and egress, yet has a long and low look that vaguely recalls the Isuzu Axiom from early 2000s. Even so, any fan of the Air sedan will recognize the Gravity as part of the Lucid family. However, we suspect it's no accident Lucid showed us the Gravity in one of its higher suspension heights. In its lowest suspension height, especially with smaller wheels, slick Gravity should look almost car-like, the visual antithesis of the boxy, adventurous-looking Rivian R1S. To each their own right. As for the Gravity, 2-row 5-seat and 3-row 7-passenger versions will be available. We're told a 6-passenger Gravity with 2nd-row captain's chair is being considered for later on. So now if you're new to Lucid, an available rear-wheel steering system and an air suspension that auto-adjusts based on speed is also here as a default. Both technologies can make a huge difference in ride quality, low speed handling, and the overall driving experience when executed well. When the Gravity goes on sale in the second half of 2024, we'll see if Lucid can introduce these features without too many bugs at launch. Lucid's engineering excellence has stunned the electric car space with a luxury sedan that's quick, fun to drive, efficient, and still manages more than 500 miles of EPA-rated range for certain models. That's unbeatable in the luxury car segment, and we have high hopes for the 2025 Gravity SUV as a result. So as per more trend, using what Lucid says is a new platform from Air, the Gravity has updated motors and drag coefficient of just under 0.24, though details are slim at this point. We do know that the floor won't be a different height for the two battery packs. On the Air, you gain about 3 inches of rear seat legroom by foregoing the larger battery pack, which intrudes on passengers' foot space. Don't expect any Gravity to reach 500 miles of range unless maybe you drive it down a very long hill. Instead, expect at least one Gravity trim to hit at least 440 miles of range. The Tesla Model X tops out just below 350 miles, and the Rivian R1S manages up to a claimed 400 with its larger battery pack. Lucid claims the Gravity can add 200 miles of range in 15 minutes thanks to its 300 kilowatts charge rate too. Dual-motor all-wheel drive will be standard on the 2025 Gravity, though the company isn't ruling out a single-motor rear drive version down the line. If enough customers warm to the Gravity and it doesn't require tight spots like the Air has, the rear drive Gravity probably won't happen. The Lucid is no rock crawler like the R1S. However, the Gravity does have an off-road mode that sets the Air suspension's height at its tallest setting with access to full torque. Sounds like fun. We're curious what ground clearance will be on an SUV that looks as boulevard ready as this one does. Will options include 20 inches in front with 21s in the back, or 21s in front and 22s in the back, or at last 22s in front and 23s in the back. Towing capacity comes to 6,000 pounds, which is 1,700 pounds less than what they can tow in a Rivian R1S or Audi Q7, but infinity more pounds than the Air sedan can haul. Acceleration from 0 to 60 miles per hour can be accomplished in as little as 3.5 seconds per Lucid. We don't have horsepower and torque specs yet, but the 2025 Gravity will have at least 480 horsepower. At launch, Gravity models will likely match or beat power of the 620 horsepower Touring and 819 horsepower Grand Touring models. Will Lucid build a higher performance Gravity Sapphire? Given how good the 1,234 horsepower Air Sapphire has been in our testing, our fingers are crossed. The theme inside the 2025 Lucid Gravity is the same, similar to Air, but not the same. Lucid head of design Derek Jenkins says there's been a real growth curve at Lucid since the Air originally launched. And that's good to hear because in our experience, the Lucid Air's undeniable goodness is often marred by minor issues that include technology bugs. Actually, not just bugs with the tech. On year-long Air car test, one of the steering wheel buttons popped off with gentle usage. The Gravity steering wheel has touchpads on the left and right side, with an area for swiping and 4 flat buttons too. The steering wheel is now in the shape of a squircle, so it's flat on the bottom and on the top. Jenkins tells us Lucid tested 27 different wheels, and yes, a Tesla-style yoke was among them. The upgraded OLED display have all been tweaked, and we're told the system should be more reliable than it's been in the Air. The edges of the top of the display are taller, and the top has a slimmer hinge. That long 34-inch display comprises a small menu of controls on the left of the steering wheel, the instrument cluster, and the top infotainment screen. Below that, a lower sensor display is now horizontally oriented and is 12.6 inches instead of 12.5. Yay. One trick we've enjoyed on the Air is shoving that lower screen out of sight, but that feature is gone from Gravity. However, there's a relaxing setting that blacks out this lower screen and simplifies the upper screen to only show what you absolutely need to see. On a long road trip at night, this is the one to drive with. Then there's the Lucid Sanctuary, a fantastic mode that only works when you're not driving. Every screen in the car displays the same nature scene. The one we saw was Joshua Tree, California. It's the kind of thing you see on the home screen in the Calm app. Those visuals and sounds are combined with the message and the upgraded LED mode lighting. We've seen similar features from Mercedes and Genesis, but this appears to take a step further. We can't imagine ever being comfortable enough when parked at a charging station to meditate, but Lucid also has a connection with Meditopia, where you can be guided through a quick session. Some of these features may require a long-term subscription, but Lucid is figuring out the details as of now. On the other side of things, we're told the car karaoke feature will be offered. Really, that's the ton to unpack with the Gravity, so as much as some will be impressed by in-car apps or an enormous setup display, we're just as interested in how the SUV drives, its range, and how well the interior works. Speaking of which, as of taking this video, Lucid is still determining how the second row seats will fold out of the way to improve access to the third row. The prototype we saw had a lever on the bottom side of the second row bench which can adjust the backrest angle. Will there be a Honda Pilot-like button to recline that backrest and shove the seat forward? We'll see. At least the rear door opens to about 90 degrees. That's another feature we've loved on the Air. How ironic that on a car as advanced as the Lucid Air, one of its recurring issues is a slim key fob that requires frequent battery changes and doesn't always recognize the car. Well, we have good news. There's a new regular size key fob on the Gravity, which should accommodate longer lasting batteries. And if that doesn't excite you, let's talk about glass. We love the rich look of the wood cover over the Air's front cup holders. On the 2025 Gravity, the cover is now made of tempered glass, and when we poked inside the Gravity Dream Edition prototype before the SUV's debut, the glass with its etched stripes was an unexpected but looked rich. We're told that the different trims will have different etching patterns, and underneath that cover and a backward folding armrest is a very spacious storage area. So guys, are you falling for Gravity? The 2025 Gravity is very much a Lucid in design and the way it reaches forward into the future. Attempting to be on the cutting edge has its pros and cons, so we're curious to see how well Lucid can execute on the Gravity's promise. That aside, the 2025 Gravity undeniably expands the Lucid brand's reach in a way an executive sedan never could, and the expected starting price of just under $80,000 should help too. The Air is only just now getting lower cost versions at a similar price point, having launched in the six figures. So this is it guys, concise and precise as always. We know that the Lucid company is relatively new and most of us haven't even driven one of their products. But what do you think about the 2025 Gravity? Do you think it has an edge over Air because it's an SUV? Or no, you think both of them are in the same range? And are you interested at all in grabbing one if the money is no issue? So let us know in the comments, and as always, like, subscribe and hit the notification button to all. Stay tuned.